Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to another live stream of Hearthstone. So we have somebody that wants to play me. Sadly, I've got this glitch, so I can't even find him. So go ahead and send me the friend request now. Daily quests were done, so we're just going to be playing for fun, which is fine because I don't have a ton of things. There he is. Let me know in the chat, Demonic Angel, that's who we're playing. Do you need any help with any daily quests? Otherwise, I'm just gonna try the Druid Helper right now. I think that works just as well. Started late today and doing probably the worst thing possible of not preparing any of the news, so I still have a little bit of news to do. I'm also a little far behind on the chat. Let's go back. Tragic Master came on and he said, grinding Lich King restart for Tide Caller and Rockpool in Mulligan is a pain, but at least you can beat him when you God draw Murlocs on him. Yeah, I beat him the first time very easily with my Murloc deck, and then playing the other character classes, half of them I don't know at all, like how to succeed. Like, not even a clue. So I've resolved that beating the Lich King 9 times is something that's going to happen when I'm sick or just have some other reason why I absolutely can't record. And I'm just going to have to spend 5 to 6 hours trying it over and over again. DK Anduin must have for a priest. Dark Knight Anduin for the next year and a half. And then Demonic Angel wanted to play me, and I canceled the request a couple of times as I was looking at cards, and then finally we're playing him now. Let's see.
I hope you like my invention.
So this is the Druid Helper deck that is designed to give as many mana crystals and as many cards as quickly as possible. Also keep my health as high as possible, so he can do the most amount of damage to me. Now at higher levels, even doing this isn't going to get you a guaranteed
side effects.
It's not going to give you a guaranteed increase in one level, but it's the best you can do. Let's see. Demonic Angel says I have no soldiers. I've noticed that.
Pass me that arc light scanner.
Let's see if we can crawl through it. Let's see. Here's an article that says we're in a golden age for first-person shooters. Somewhat believable.
Gadgets and Gazette always gets the scoop.
And
If you're sure.
This might
and
sting.
this. Can you let me win, please? Absolutely. We'll let you win anything. Anything you need. I've got no daily quests. I have no reason to win. But I will take you down to 1. That way, any experience I get, in case I need to... I don't even know if the Druid is at level 60 or not. I think he might. Here's an interesting PC announcement. Apparently, for Inno 3D GPUs, they are now officially... voiding your warranty if you use cryptocurrency mining on it. I hate that card. It says, I don't know which card he specifically is talking about.
Trust me.
She is too OP. Deal 1 damage, draw a card.
Mind if I roll need? I want answers.
Warrior, use Alarm Bart on turn 3. Play Gastropod on turn 2. Fill your deck with the biggest minions. Really big taunts. If you hit that on turn 2+3, you win. Tragic Master, I think, is talking about how to beat the Lich King, and I don't know if I'm following it completely. I saw Corpurian. I watch a lot of his videos, and he beat the one with the warrior where you get he has 130 armor on the second turn. He did it by forcing using Dead Man's Hand to refill his hand, and then getting lots of duplicates of the Murloc that causes both players to draw 2 cards, and he just fatigued him into dying. And
Gadgets and Gazette always gets this might sting.
And it seemed like that worked.
Hey, give me that.
Job's done.
There's a sequel to Reigns called Reigns Her Majesty. Is coming out later this year. I didn't like Reigns, honestly, so I'm gonna pass on the sequel. Like, I liked the general concept, but it was very, very repetitive in the long term play, and the timeline function that kind of would force you to replay the whole game from the beginning for another potentially 20 hours to get everything. Tragic Master says much easier, cheaper dust cost to do, not as fancy, but much cheaper, cheesier way to do it.
Jade Serpent guide you.
So now that I've got this guy, I can give him more cards.
Job's done.
Because I can give him Nourish, and every time he plays Nourish, he can give it back to me. Demonic Angel says cool card. GameStop, despite strong Switch demand, has weaker game sales, which has brought down their profits. Tragic Master says I love Little Walker Show. A lot of people do. I don't play him as much as other people. Yeah. Here I'm looking at as I'm looking through the news. Here's a artistic technical document for the game Headlander that Double Fine made. I just played Headlander, didn't really enjoy it. I don't think they did the greatest job. The artistic document also doesn't kind of help too much with that. Like, some of the arts there looks better than what was in the game. Well, he killed Lord Walker Cho. Let's see. This. This.
Or die, or both.
The Hearthstone animated short, we already talked about it. But I'll say again, I liked it. It was a ripoff of a Les Miserables song, in case people didn't catch that. But it has this problem in which it tries to be this kid-friendly thing. Kid-friendly invitation to play Hearthstone. And I just don't feel like Hearthstone is a kid-friendly game. Like, you convince... Sure, you convince people to be in it, but Tragic Master, do you have a Tavern Brawl deck prepared? I'd like to play with you. Sure, I have a Tavern Brawl deck that I prepared.
More training?
Just put more of these in.
Time waits for no one.
A demonic angel saying, am I playing good? I'm probably not a good person to really say.
The might of storm
Like,
wind.
I don't want to be too critical of people, and so much of it has to do with randomness and what cards you have. The truth is, you might be playing very perfectly with your cards and still lose compared to somebody else. Now, also, you might be playing horribly and just have really great cards. And usually when I succeed, a lot of that. I have a fun tavern deck. I basically try to resummon Arthas as many times as possible, though. Let's see it, Tragic Master. Send me a friend request. With this glitch right now, I can't even see people's. So, like, all things are going to have to be friend requests now. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's because I'm running the game at 30 frames per second. Maybe not. Good game, says Demonic Angel. See, I'm almost done with the news, and yet I've still got a bunch of YouTube videos and things taking up everything. Go ahead and send me that friend request. Tragic Master canceled the challenge. What happened? It was there, and then it stopped. Except. Let's see. Oh, yeah, YouTube creators tweeted some animation about how much they love Nintendo, which is kind of an ironic thing because the Nintendo, particularly Nintendo Japan, is horrible to YouTube. And I know everybody has nostalgia and love for Nintendo, although Nintendo has finally effectively found a way to start destroying that with shortages and bad products. Tragic Master says, good luck, man. But particularly Nintendo is terrible to YouTube. They copyright claim everything. They have a terrible partner program that you have to be in if you want to even get some of it. Demonic Angel says, got to go. See you next time, or maybe today. Okay, that's fine. Thanks for watching. I guess people saying got to go or bye actually is a better way to do it. Like, in the past I've said people aren't beholden to me. They don't have to say when they're leaving or they're coming back, but I won't notice. But honestly, I kind of do notice when people are when they go silent, but I imagine there's reasons for it. So this is the Tavern Brawl, just to refresh people's memory since it's not explained, where everything becomes one cheaper after a turn. Tragic Master says, your deck will beat mine, lol, Murloc's OP. Yeah, they are. New person on the chat called Gizmozo. Interesting way to spell your name. You seem pretty cool. I will sub. Thank you. I love new subs. Let's see. New basic hero power. Oops. I could have played a card there and missed Missed an opportunity. Oh well. I'm clicking through the best PC games by PC Gamer, and they've found a way to make the pages have fewer and fewer listings every time you click forward. So what should have been a 2-page article, they've made into a 3-click article to show more what would be the more ads. That's what they're doing. Yeah. I need to make sure I get the Secret of Mana when that's... So he wants to resummon Arthas over and over again, so if I did, say, this, and then let's do this, and this. Now, every time Arthas dies, it adds a random Death Knight card to your hand, which would be pretty... pretty devastating to fill his hand with Death Knight cards. Gizmozo says, your collection is so much better than mine. I have like 9 legendaries in total. Yeah, I've been playing for about 2.5 years. I kind of wish I had been playing since the beta. I still probably wouldn't be one of the best or a complete collection or have all gold cards or anything like that, but I've been playing relatively consistently for about 2.5 years. Now, this month is the only month I've started to play ranked, and because of that I've gotten to rank 14 from rank 20, and next month I'm hoping to get a little bit higher, but until a recent update where you could copy and paste out decks, you really couldn't easily have a ranked series of decks for the 9 types of heroes and have decks built to get the daily quest that got you the gold that gets you more cards. Now, because you can copy and paste things out, I have decks that are designed specifically to try and win and only win, and anytime there's a daily quest to get to play like 10 Murlocs, I can just make a deck full of Murlocs. He's playing Emperor Therusian on top of a Tavern Brawl that already has Emperor Therusian. Did I just kill his... Is that the one that causes death rattles to trigger twice? No, that's Battle Cries. So he's filling his hand with cards. Let's see. He's playing Greedy Emperor, he says. Just save a little bit of time there. Gizmozo says I've been playing for 2.5 months. Yeah, and it's certainly a lot more difficult for new players the later they get in. I don't know how Blizzard fixes that, but there's definitely a problem with keeping new players interested and giving them a good experience. Part of the problem certainly is the 2 to 3 days of just default playing that you have to do through tutorials and unlocking characters. There's certain things, if you have a friend that can help you, like if you challenge a friend and you haven't unlocked all of the 9 classes, then your friend can just immediately concede and it will unlock all 9 classes. But a lot of it is just having somebody help you to power level to level 10 so you have all the basic cards unlocked. None of this should be in the intro. So, like, by default you should have all the basic cards. You should probably have I would say anywhere between 5 and 20 free arena entries just to play arena, play new cards, learn while you're doing that. Arena is very good but very expensive for new players because it allows you to focus your energy and have cards that you don't normally have. It allows you to learn while you play. Let's see. Wind Fury. And Challenge. I'm not going to really defeat him. I want to see his strategy. Of Arthas. Gizmozo says, I wish the game was way more free to play. I wish the game was way more free, period. Like, the free to play part of it is where it's free to start, but if you want to be any good at it at the game, you're going to have to fork over some cash pretty quickly. Like, yeah, I think. Yeah, the last thing I have for news is there's a game called Yakuza Kiwami 2 for PlayStation 4. It's coming out. Let's see. PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, January 21st. You can get pretty good at grinding arena a lot. I haven't had the greatest success, but I do have random successes with arena. Let's see. It also gives you a lot of cards. Yep. Arena is I think treats new players better, but also having friends in the game certainly is something that would be a better experience. I've noticed that my Hearthstone experience has really improved since people have friended me and since I've started live streaming, because when people want to friend you and will let you win and not have to struggle, you're definitely gonna have a better experience. Alright, so I think I'm done with news, so I'm gonna put that window down. I had to disenchant 4 legendaries to get the Lich King. I think it was worth it. I don't know. I really don't know if that is worth it or not. In the bigger perspective, disenchanting legendaries to get for dust is a terrible way to play. However, on my European account, it actually seemed to help a lot to disenchant the 1 legendary that I got, have that 1600 dust, and then make 1 of every single common card, which is only worth 40 dust. So you're talking potentially, I think 40 would be right. Like, yeah, I traded 1 legendary for 1 copy of each common card, which let me have a much more varied collection on my European account, which is only about a month old. So much less likely to win.
I have no time.
The new solo adventure, particularly for new players too, is unwinnable. You can't defeat the second enemy in the second tier unless you have nearly all of the weapons, which makes the game rather unfair. Let's see. This, 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 and this.
Job's done.
So yeah, compared to my Asia account, now on my Asia account I'm doing something different. I'm not disenchanting golds, and I'm not disenchanting duplicates, or well, duplicates yes, but nothing else. So my Asian account is almost going to be an untouched account version, because I'm not going to fiddle with it to try to get the most variety of cards. I'm just going to see what happens. Now, also on my Asian account, I don't have any friends, so it is by far the most neglected. And both of those accounts are going to become more and more neglected, considering now I'm more focused on rank play, although not today. I'm waiting for the month to end. And let's see. Apparently I didn't start the timer, so I don't know how long I've been playing. Start 45 minutes right now and see. So yeah, I'm about after this game, unless more people want to play me on the Americas account. I'm about to switch over to the European account, and if we have anybody on the European account that can help me do the daily quest real quickly, that would be nice. I'm always trying to... So, like, he's got a lot of steal your cards. I feel like one of the things Blizzard could do for new players is whenever you make a new account, it should just hand to people, here's all the classic cards for free, and here's all the wild sets, because we're not selling the wild sets, although they have actually started to sell wild sets again through their website for real money. You can't buy it with gold, which is even more greedy. But if they just said, look, we don't care about these cards, if you want to play them wild, here they are. Or the only thing they really do as a welcome bundle is they have you pay $5 for a welcome bundle of a few more likely to get legendary card packs. And see, I could probably still win with all this damage just by making him draw cards. Even if he plays very good control like he has been for the past few turns. He hit himself more than he hit me. Let's see, do I have any cards left?
Balance in all things.
The one thing though, I suppose, is if people get into Hearthstone right now, and Hearthstone is still around in 2 years, you're still going to be so much better off than the new players. So the quicker you get in it, the longer you stay. If you play every 3 days and get all the daily quests done and get that gold, you're going to be as good as you can be. That being said, Valve's new Dota-based card game called Artifact is a tempting thing to switch over to, and when it comes out, I think I'll definitely try it. Microsoft had, what is it? I forgot the name of that Microsoft subsidiary that makes Fable games. It's something about Lionhead Studios, maybe. They've got a Fable card game they're working on called Fable Fortune that maybe will come out and be interesting. But I would put more on Valve's Artifact game being popular than the other one. Tragic Master says good game. There's certainly other card games that are going to come and go. The Gwent card game is a solo player adventure kind of like the solo adventures here. So that might catch on too. I've played Gwent when I played Witcher 3, so I don't think I particularly like that game that well, and that's going to be the problem. Is it has to be pretty similar to Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, and Hearthstone, but also it has to be unique and better looking and have a potential of really succeeding more than any of those games, which is a hard thing to pull off. There was one that came out a couple months ago that had hex-based tiles, and it was a card game, but it really wasn't what I was looking for. And Artifact is going to have 3 lanes where you play 3 different card games, and we'll see how that works. If anybody wants to send me a request, I'm going to say send me a request in like the next minute, which is really not enough time. So I'm going to just look at the clock, and if anybody else wants to play me on the Americas account, that's fine. If anybody's sending me friend requests, I'm sorry, man. I can't even see them. So I could potentially have a lot of friend requests right now, and I don't even know how to fix it. Alright. Let's see, what else can we do? We could look at my collection, I suppose, while we're waiting in crafting mode. There's a lot I could do as far as, I guess I have enough to get the epic card that I needed. I wanted to get. This is get one of them, but not the other. Like, I want 2 of these so I could ruin people's Reno Jackson strategy, but that's not really what I should use according to all the meta. And I probably should just save up for all the legendaries, because once I have one legendary, if I get another legendary opening card packs, that is all I need to do. If I didn't have the European and Asian accounts to work on, I would do an arena run right now. That would actually make a decent amount of sense. And see, he was playing Arthas. I didn't really see a strategy, Tragic Master strategy on playing Arthas. I think he is probably helpful to get some Death Knight cards, but the Death Knight cards, while good, aren't great. There's this dragon that's an epic that I should have. But yeah, my collection is very nicely close to being full. Of course, I'm only looking at standard cards. When I look at the wild cards, which is what I should be looking at, there's a considerable amount more. And standard is going to change pretty quickly, so focusing maybe on standard might be the right move. Like, get those classic epics created. Here it is. So this is the one that everybody's playing, is because it's a pretty good card. Taunt for 8 health and 4 attack, which isn't great, but it's a late game board clear. So I'm gonna craft that and have one of those, and I can't afford a second one. And I know there's a keyword somewhere where like you can see what you can craft, but I don't know what that keyword is. But if you type in missing, for example, there's a ton of these, what are these called, rares that would cost 100 that I only have one of, and there's a ton of specifically class-based cards particularly that I'm still missing. Either I can get a second one, or I am missing 2, or it's a legendary, so you can only get 1. I kind of wish I had the money to that I would feel like it would be worth investing in here, because honestly, if I bought maybe 400 packs, I could get very close to having at least 50% of what I'm missing filled in. I don't care about goldens. I just want to have the options, to have the variety, to make my own decks. I want to try to avoid having to do meta decks, just playing what everybody else is playing. We are at 1245, and I want this to be 10 times this by the time the next expansion comes out. I want to be able to open 100 packs. I was able to open 100 packs for Frozen Throne, and that worked a lot better than opening 50 packs. I don't think I particularly want to go up to 150, but maybe. Well, nobody sent me a friend request, so it's time to switch over to the European account, and let's play that some more. Now, here's where friends will help. If I can get anybody to just help with this. Now, the European Daily Quest 2 is always off. It probably won't be an issue here, but in general, one of these daily quests is always a little weird. So I need to play 50 Warlock class cards, 30 Rogue class cards, and destroy 40 minions. So even without any help, that's not too difficult. I did the Tavern Brawl. Doing the Tavern Brawl every week, every time it's available, is very helpful to get new classic cards for new players. But it also requires you to be at level 20 for some reason, which makes no sense. So they punish you before they reward you, and all of those cards in comparison, if we just look at all the cards and what's missing on the European account, which is only a couple months, you see there's a ton of them, and this is after I turned legendaries into dust and made common cards. So these cost only 40 to craft. The basic cards are also in here. Well, no, actually they aren't unless you click include craftable. And see, this is just disheartening for new players when you've got entire pages with no cards on them. The game is just not for new players. This is the problem with Magic the Gathering in general too, is that Magic the Gathering mostly only lets you play the last couple of expansions, so that people who've been playing it for 10 years can't come in with big collections of cards. However, if you're just playing a friendly game that allows all cards except for a small selection of banned cards, people are going to have things that haven't even been available for purchase at a reasonable price. I somehow ended up getting both of these cards in one card pack. Interesting. But almost you don't know how to really fix it. They do it by making wild, I suppose, and that's about all you can do. You don't want to punish the people who've been playing the game forever, and you don't want to, but you still want to encourage new players. Now, on Hearthstone's case versus a real-world collectible card game, it's really easy for them to simply give cards to players. They could just they have the statistics in the background. They could simply say, look, your character is well below average. You are below you're in the bottom 10% of card collections. You're in the bottom 10% of ranked mode. You're in the bottom 10% as far as actually doing anything. Here's a bunch of card packs. Let's give you the pity prize and let you win that way. What cards was it that I needed to play? Rogue class cards to start off with. So let's see if this classic rogue here is full of rogue class cards. Yes, it is, which means I can play it really quickly. Let's see if this works. We have Mahmood. He's online if he wants to play me and help me, but if he doesn't, that's fine too. Let's see. We made it to ranked 20 on both sides, so it wouldn't hurt to play ranked. Getting more ranked, you need 500 ranks to go gold, and this needs levels, and maybe you get more experience if you play ranked, maybe you don't. It's not gonna hurt. If I'm stuck at rank 20, I can't lose any stars anyways, so no real problem there. And I imagine after this game I probably should break up the recording again. Maybe we won't. So cheap cards are what we're looking for. The cheapest rogue cards I can play. That's generally, this is a daily quest deck where I'm supposed to just play rogue cards, so do all of that. There was an interesting, I believe it was Disguised Toast video that had 11 responses the Lich King will give that are secret. So there's several different ways that you can do things that you probably didn't assume you could actually accomplish. For instance, there's a way to steal the card that silences the hero against the Lich King when you're playing Priest, and so you can steal that card and then silence the Lich King. And there's several different mumble phrases he can do. I've stolen this card, but it doesn't help any. I would need something with a really high health and a low attack.
Is someone injured?
Let's see. Return this guy. Attach this.
Here we go.
Getting victories certainly would be nice. It's not really our main goal, though. Like, if you watch me play this and I somehow got up to rank 15, that would be amazing. Highly unbelievable, but kind of amazing. Let's see, can we do all this? Deal 1 damage, draw a card.
Calm down! I'm a doctor! A tango?
Here we go.
There we go. I could play this on this, make it slightly more powerful, or I could just play this next turn and return everything to the hand.
Here we go.
Remember, I'm trying to play cards and destroy minions. That's my only goal right here. I'm not particularly trying to win, but I am playing against somebody ranked 20, and half of the people that play ranked 20. Let's see. And let's do this.
Wow.
Here we go.
Draw a card.
Attend me. Ready, sir.
This and this and this
Here we
and
go.
that. And see, I could play this and combo this, but it still wouldn't help because this doesn't have a friendly minion to give poisonous to.
Is someone injured?
Of course, I could win pretty easily. Just need 1 more damage on top of this.
Here we go.
Let's play this, which gives me immunity. Play this. And play this. And end the turn. But you're only immune during your turn.
Tortola, preserve us!
I would need something with charge to give poison to attack, and then something I could win. Actually, yeah, if I had something with charge next turn, I could win. But I also have plenty of time, at least a couple turns. 2 to an undamaged minion.
Here we go.
Let's just do this.
Hand is too full.
And see, it's 7 p.m. right now, and that's not too bad. The part that's gonna be too bad is is playing after this, and since I'm so far ahead, I think after this game, we've hit a dull spot in the chat. Nobody's saying anything. I think we'll go into the silent post-game show to Restore 5 health to the enemy hero. This will be interesting. If this one dies, will it destroy everything because of poison? He's not gonna find out. I bet it doesn't. So yeah, like, well, let's switch around. Like, we can go back to the European account and really quickly, one more game to play rogue cards, 2 or 3 more games to play warlock cards, and in between that, as long as we keep destroying minions, we'll get all of that done. And I just really have a midnight timeline on that. And then let's see what the Asian challenges are. Having all of these servers split is bad for everybody, and it doesn't like benefit anybody other than Blizzard. If they just merged them together, and I could play against Asian fans and everything. Also, obviously, I've not been doing the best job trading out daily quests. Every day you need to come in and see. Do I want to play mage cards? I want to keep this one because Paladin and Paladin overlap. Although, in all actuality, I shouldn't try to do Paladin victories at all. And we can open this one. Looks like we got an epic. Nice. It's also worth pointing out the Tavern Brawl is already gone on the Asia account, so the timing is different. Like, no dust, so we have just the new cards. We got this epic, and 1 or 2 of those, I think just 1. And we got a rampage. And see, I'm just leaving the gold, so I could disenchant this and get a regular version, but I'm just gonna leave it and see what happens after maybe a year or 2. We now have this pirate, which is nice. I could just type new here. We have 2 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these. It looks like we're making some decent progress on the Asia collection too, although in all actuality, if I compared it really and just switched it to all cards and then crafting, you're still very much 1 per page at most, 1 or 2 per page if you get lucky as far as all the cards available. And so, yeah, Paladin, we'd have to find a Paladin, and this is gonna take the most amount. It's custom Paladin 3, I bet. It's not even Paladin cards, so that's no good. Is there not a custom Paladin? No. So get rid of that and make a new deck for Paladin. And I believe Prince Malchazar might be a possibility on this account now. So it's time to start, once I have some free time, whenever, it's time to start thinking about rebuilding the decks and getting rid of the basic decks. I think I'll probably wait, but getting rid of these default decks that we have, which if everything is up to 10, I would have unlocked everything. So Warlock is still at 9, but everything else is at 10. Moving on and building Prince Malchazar. No, I guess I haven't done the One Night in Karazhan elements. I just got 700 gold to buy the Menagerie. So once I have some extra time, on top of that extra time I don't have, I can go through the Menagerie and get some more cards. And then eventually, once I have 700 gold, and this is why we're doing the Asian account, is to get enough gold to buy this. And then ideally I'd want 3,500 gold in case on top of this. As far as Ice Crown, until you have enough weapons to beat this character, I could probably make a deck and beat this guy. But until I have enough weapons to beat this guy, where you're not really going to get anywhere. And even if I was able to beat this guy on the Asian and European accounts, am I really going to be able to beat the Lich King? That's a good question. Red Phoenix just came on the chat, so I guess we'll go a little bit longer. Red Phoenix, if you want to talk. I was just about to go in the silent gameplay mode, but I'll stay off that for a while, as it is. We need to get 5 Paladin victories, and what's the easiest way on the Asian account to get 5 Paladin victories while playing it? I guess it is casual play. I really am enjoying playing Dead Space. I'm just distracting myself a lot too. I'd like to play it more. I'd like to have enough time to play Dead Space 2 right back to back, because there's a lot of what I remember of Dead Space 2 that probably would work very nicely back to back to Dead Space 1. The game is pretty glitchy though on the PC too. I've managed to fall through elevators and have to restart at least 2 or 3 times, and you have to play it on with vertical sync on, otherwise you can't even walk through the first door of the game, or almost the first door of the game. Red Phoenix said he's late. That's fine. I started late too. Most definitely. Let's play this. And this and this. We want to play all the Paladin cards and win. So I'll have to work on that. I need to work on Nightbot when I have free time. I've said the phrase "when I have free time" now like 5 times in a row, which just goes to show I'm terrible at time management. But whenever I get around to it, I need to reprogram the high, so when you say hi or hello, it cycles that around to multiple responses if I'm able to do that. Do I have a Murloc in my hand? Yes, I do. Red Phoenix says, the one day I don't check to see if you're live, XD.
Repent.
Well, a lot of that is YouTube's fault. Like, YouTube honestly has, for me at least, given me this new chat system where you can share videos inside of this whole new YouTube service, which seems a little dumb and crazy to do, and I bet it doesn't last a year, but I'll try it a little bit. But they've also gotten very good lately about telling me when people go live. Like, if I'm subscribed to people, if I have notifications on, it seems like they finally fixed their machine, and I'm getting the emails instantly. I'm getting the I'm getting the notification through the YouTube channel, YouTube app. So hopefully that's something they continue to work on, and it continues to work. It's always nice when YouTube does something right, and they don't particularly pat themselves on the back very well when they do something right enough, and that is certainly part of the reason where people are kind of always mad at them too.
Well met. Justice.
It's because you hear about people. You hear about when YouTube does something bad, but so often on YouTube, but you don't ever hear about when they do the tiny little fixes on our site and make it a little bit better. Like the YouTube Video Manager beta is something that people who just watch YouTube aren't going to really see at all. But if they do a good job with it, which I think they have a good chance of actually doing, they will see improvements. Like the YouTube in-screen thing, which was one of the things I suggested to YouTube, that in itself is going to turn out to be a very good addition. I think the in-screens are really good. That being said, when they added in-screens, they also took away annotations, which kind of sucked. Red Phoenix says, I feel so bad for the people in Houston. Except for you misspelled Houston, not Hudson. Sorry, you auto-corrected me. It's pronounced Houston in Texas and spelled that way, and it's spelled exactly the same way in New York. There's an area in Manhattan called Soho, which stands for south of Houston, Houston. So it's spelled exactly the same way, pronounced differently. Houston, from what I heard, has a lot of problems with putting its streets underground. And so a lot of flooding whenever it rained, very dangerous. That entire southern portion of Texas is getting hit by Hurricane Harvey, and a lot of rain, a lot of flooding, a lot of damage. I tried to look at it and think perhaps this will be a good opportunity for them to add more jobs to Texas, because after the storm happens, there's an opportunity to build new buildings and employ more construction workers at the very least. That being said, that's only if the insurance companies pay for houses that were damaged and the houses were insured in the first place, and all of those things are mostly true but not 100% true. So you have a diminishing return there, where a lot of insurance companies in big storms just go bankrupt and don't pay out, which you would think would be illegal, but somehow companies get away with it. And so people are left trying to flip the bill for a destroyed house, and then a lot of poor people don't have insurance or enough insurance, and insurance never really pays all of it, so there's still some expense. So in the long run, it doesn't allow the rain to wash away old buildings and build new buildings, and like it should. Red Phoenix says 40 to 50 inches of rain. Yeah, a lot. They were. I was paying not a lot of attention to it, but they're saying some places 3 feet of water, which would pretty much ruin your house. Some places 12 feet of water, which would be at the rooftops of people's houses. A lot of people in Texas, it seems, did not take the warning seriously enough, and because of that, they should have left and they didn't, which could easily cost them their lives. And Red Phoenix says my friend's dog's name is Harvey, and it makes me break the record of 52 inches. Yeah. It's a big one. I couldn't get if it was how much bigger or smaller it was compared to Katrina, which is probably just in general what everybody knows. I don't think it will do as much damage as Katrina because there's just better levees and better elevation of the ground in Texas, and Texas is just kind of bigger. I think the areas that Katrina hit were below sea level to begin with, and they had levees and walls holding the water back, and those broke, and that just allowed the ocean to be where it wanted to be anyways. But they were saying this is a once every 15 years storm, and so we're hoping everybody will be alright. There was a story that came up on Reddit that was pretty sad of people tying dogs to posts for some reason, and I kept looking at this and thinking, why would you tie your dog to a post in the middle of the hurricane and flooding? And it didn't seem like it made any sense at all. Like, so I kind of want to believe that the image was staged so some photographer could take a picture, and then they untied the dog. They said that the dogs they took the pictures of did get untied and rescued. I know that a lot of the rescue services and shelters were not taking animals, which I think probably in a more legal sense it should just be mandatory to always take animals in a storm. You don't want people risking their lives and staying in the path of danger because the place that the shelter they should be at simply is implementing a rule that doesn't really matter. On the longer rule, if I can say something gross, if there was a shelter that had a bunch of animals, and let's say you got stuck in that shelter for months and months, and you're running out of food, having animals around, nobody wants to eat their pet, but like it would be an option. So I don't really see a reason not to let animals in, even for a worst case scenario like that. And there's plenty of places in Texas up north, because Texas is a giant state, so everybody should have been able to find a shelter, or a lot of people in Texas frankly should have had friends and family up north that they could have stayed with. Red Phoenix asterisk insert joke about eating pets here. Well, apparently I just did that. I mean, from the practicality, nobody wants to do that, but I like to always approach things from the zombie apocalypse mentality. I don't believe there ever will be a zombie apocalypse, but if something ever happened that big, what can you do to prepare for it? What can you do to plan for it? I've wanted to have like giant 400-gallon tanks of water in my garage. It's kind of expensive to buy the tanks, but it's free to put the water in it and put chlorine tablets in it to keep the water from getting moldy, and just have like 800 gallons of water, or have a water tank outside that you could collect rainwater from. I like to keep my pantry and my refrigerators relatively stocked, but where I'm in, so like where I am, I'd probably just get stuck by snow or rain or flooding or something for a few days at most, but I could probably go a week on everything just fine. Red Phoenix says, I would rather die than eat my dog. Is that good or bad? Here's the scenario you should consider. You're probably going to be around other people that are starving, and either you're going to survive or the dog is going to survive. And if the dog survives, as soon as you're dead, somebody else is going to eat your dog. Like, so, and they're probably going to eat you too. So look at it from that perspective. It comes down to the moral thing of how do you put a value on a living being. And I've always thought that the only way you can really do that is just to say every living being is equally valuable. Therefore, it just gets down to a kill or be killed scenario, the law of the jungle. Therefore, if the dog could kill you and eat you, he probably would if he was starving to death. I mean, we kind of know that's the case. If you starve animals, they will eventually attack and eat their masters. And you would probably be starving at the point, so what you're feeling now is the way normal civilized people think, but normal civility goes out the window when you're starving. Let's see. Red Phoenix, well then if I'm gone, one less mouth to feed and more food, I'm selfless. That's true. That's certainly true. Like, if it you certainly can make that calculation if you want the women and the children and the younger people to survive, and you're an old person that can't really contribute anything. Now many would argue maybe your knowledge and your intelligence is more contributable too. These are deep moral quandaries you would have to make, and that's what makes shows like The Walking Dead intriguing to many people. I would argue that the biological imperative sociologically is to pass on your genetic code. So if your own kids are alive, you are genetically pushed subconsciously to keep them alive, and so you will sacrifice yourself for your own kids. But you might not as easily sacrifice yourself for somebody else's kid, and you wouldn't as much sacrifice yourself for somebody who you would see as a competitor. And of course that's all subconscious. So if somebody is dating your ex, Red Phoenix says, I think it's safe to say I'm not a normal person. Yeah, I think most normal people say that, though. a lot of people would immediately, in a trauma, a huge thing, get depressed and just give up on life. Certainly, in a major catastrophe where there's no hope, and that's one of the things when there are tragedies like this, that one of the best things people can do is say, look, life is going to get back to normal. There is hope. This isn't the end of the world. This isn't the zombie apocalypse. The government didn't collapse. There will be support. There will be help. That's why it's always important for us to, as a country, support other parts of the country and not just be so obsessed and isolated with our own country or our own people. And we see a lot of that is very, very nice to see when we had the tsunami in Japan, when we had the hurricane, I believe it was, in Haiti. A lot of people donated money to Red Cross. A lot of people gave and helped. And the message hopefully gets out that that people do care about them, and we are going to help them, and we are going to get them back. Get them back to normal. And yeah, in Texas particularly, everything will be back to normal in a couple of years. There may be a few buildings here and there that never get completely repaired and get abandoned, but everything will go back to normal, and most people will be fine, and there'll be a few tragic people who decided to stay in their houses and suffer the consequences, but you know, Houston is not going to become a ghost city full of nobody, full of no people. Red Phoenix says, well, if you spend one day with me in person, you would see why I say that. Yes, okay, fair enough.
Repent.
For justice.
Job done.
There's so many movies out there, so many stories of people getting stuck on stuck in a scenario and having to either work together or they devolve into fighting amongst themselves.
Repent.
My foot fell asleep because my dog is sleeping on it. See, your dog is already attacking you. He's preparing.
Reporting for justice.
First, your foot's gonna fall asleep. You're gonna look down. He's already nibbled your toes off.
This guy's toast.
My mother does love
I hope you like my invention.
I give up.
I like to watch the Pet Ranch YouTube channel. Win 5 games with a paladin or priest. And the Pet Ranch, one of the latest ones was a dog that assumedly had gotten hit by a car. And broken his jaw. And they had to put, I believe, 6 steel screws in his jaw and just cast it and feed him through a tube in his esophagus. But after many months of setting his jaw and refixing it, they were able to get him back to normal. and fix it. It's quite amazing. Red Phoenix says, my dog is like 2 pounds, so if he eats me, that's forever food. And then he says, shut up, Nightbot. Nightbot doesn't listen to that. Actually, oddly, there is no command to mute Nightbot. Even for me. I can go disable it in the settings. But there's literally no way to disable it. The only way he'll stop talking is if he has posted something and nobody else has posted anything in the at least 2 lines of posts. Because he won't spam himself and talk to himself. Everybody seems to really like Nightbot more than I was expecting, even. Which is cool. It needs more tweaks and more responses, I think, and some more things to go on with it, but it is in beta, so it will eventually get down to that point.
To battle.
Ha, this guy's toast.
It's important for people to remember Houston and all of Texas a few months from now. That's gonna be the thing that people forget about, is the idea of that all happened 2 or 3 months ago and so everybody is fine. That is usually when they say the Red Cross donations start to dry up, and apparently budgeting the money doesn't really work in instances like this because there's just so much need, I guess what you'd say. Red Phoenix is playing ping pong with it and it goes, yay, I finally did something in my life. And I just realized that it's virtual. Red Phoenix frowny face. And well, for human beings, as the robots take all of our real world jobs, us doing virtual things is going to be the only accomplishments we make anyways. And I've been way ahead of the curve on that because for decades now I've been accomplishing things in video games virtually and being proud of it, where I know lots of people just roll their eyes and go, so you really didn't do anything when you beat that game. But if you really want to feel it, try to go back and play a old Nintendo game or an old Atari game and see how hard those games were. And think about one you beat when you were a kid. And try and go back and play it today compared to modern games which are designed to be easy mode even when you're playing on difficult mode. The highest difficulty settings, and you'll realize you accomplished a lot more. And there's always an underselling of just surviving. Like every day you wake up and manage to breathe in and breathe out and feed yourself and manage to just do the basic things to survive is an accomplishment. There are people all over the planet that wake up in the don't wake up in the morning. There are people all over the planet that wake up and don't manage to feed themselves. There are people that don't manage to survive that one more day for many different reasons. So just just making it through one more day and hopefully not having a mental breakdown in the process is an accomplishment for some. So you don't have to set the bar very high. Let's see. Red Phoenix says, do the 4 people watching this find this entertainment? That's a good question. I would hope so. I would like that kind of feedback. I'd like suggestions to be more entertaining. But I don't know. Like, I find it entertaining, and I like me. And so I'll keep doing me until somebody gives me a better suggestion. Red Phoenix says, other than Dark Souls, which, heck, if you beat Dark Souls, that is quite the accomplishment. Toby Jasper comes into the thing. Why don't you play rank? Right now I'm trying to get victories, and this is the Asia account that doesn't have any cards, so me playing rank in my mind would make it more difficult to get victories. I can switch over to rank after I get the 5 Paladin victories because I have a few more rogue cards to play. But the Asian account really is not gonna win. Now on the Americans account, I was playing ranked and I got to rank 14 and 2 stars, which is way higher than I've ever gotten before. But this is the first month I've also tried to get anywhere in ranked play. I've been focusing just on getting gold before then. So for that reason, I'm waiting till the end of the month, and
for justice. Job's done.
So I'm waiting till the end of the month and to see if 14 plus 2 stars gets me up. Red Phoenix said, hi Toby, do you find this entertainment? And because he said hi, it triggered Nightbot to say hello back to him. And Toby said, yes, Red. And then Red Phoenix says, shut up, Nightbot, I'm not talking. Yeah, I think Red Phoenix is one of the people that would yell at computers a lot. It's trying its best. Anytime you type in hi, it thinks it's talking to you. That's programming on my part. Maybe I can fix it so I can put an end of line character, or but I think I'll just leave it.
I wonder.
Red Phoenix says, thanks Toby, your feedback is valued. I get statistics and things, certainly, like how much the average watch time is on my videos, and thumbs up and thumbs down. YouTube's not the greatest on all of that, and it doesn't contextualize us. Red Phoenix says, please rate us on Yelp. As far as I know, you don't put YouTubers on Yelp, and if there is a rating, Toby says, I like to play Hearthstone and watch sometimes, smiley face, so it's good. Yeah. Yeah, Hearthstone does seem to encourage more than most games a 50% you want to play and then 50% you want to watch somebody else play. I imagine some of that is just to alleviate frustration of the fact that you're losing and you want to go see somebody actually win more. Yeah, I don't imagine this Asian account would ever make it even up to rank 15. Or at least not for a year, since it's only a month old account. It does kind of feel like there's a slightly different way of playing. Let's see. Jasper said, "Yeah, I rage quit 4 times today at rank 4." And see, you're way higher ranked than what I am at. Alright, I have no more daily quests on the Asia account, so there's no even reason to play the Asia account right now. We'll switch back to the European account. Red Phoenix says, your dog just fell off the bed. Oh no. Well, hopefully he's alright.
Welcome back.
I'd like to get a dog again. I have had dogs in the past, but frankly, as a YouTuber, it would have to be a very quiet dog, and I would neglect him so much. I don't think it would be fair to be a pet parent like that and just off the top of everything know I'm not gonna be very attentive and give them the attention that they need. So here I can play ranked. There's really no reason not to. But this is my European account too, which I started at the same time as the Asian account. So Red Phoenix says he's fine. He just rolled over then fell. Yeah, they can be awkward certainly sometimes.
Valera versus Malfurion.
I must protect the wild.
Watch your back.
How? No. I play every month for rank 5 at least to get the golden epic and free dust. And see, I didn't even know you got that at rank 5. I don't even know what you get at rank 15. Like, I know you get chests. This month I will not make legend because of these druids. I do know about the druids, and Kriparian was saying that even with the Knights of the Frozen Throne, they kind of just made the Jade Druid combination even stronger instead of making it weaker. This will be interesting.
Job's done.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it a 2-2. Oh, darn it. I was thinking that might make it a 2-2. The ultimate infest, it's too OP with ramp. Yeah. And see, at a certain point, I think I probably am just gonna have to settle with being in the middle, because if the requirement to get to rank 5 or legendary is you have to play the top net deck meta that everybody else is playing, then I'm not really gonna have that much fun, and I don't think my channel is gonna be that unique. Like, I think I'd be like so many other Twitch players that when I see them, they're just kind of bored and they're playing music in the background and they're sort of paying attention to the chat and responding, but like I would rather at least feel like I sort of built my deck and I'm trying some strategy there, and if that leaves me at rank 10 only, I'm okay with that. But I am also trying to win now. Red Phoenix says, great, my dog just peed. I'll be right back. Apparently his dog is wanting his attention.
Here we go.
A lot. Alright, I'm back. If you said something, I missed it. No, nothing really. I was just talking about how if it comes down between playing the top meta decks to get to legendary or just being stuck at rank 10 or so, I think I'll probably just stay at rank 10 and have more fun versus trying to get to legendary. I mean, sure, it would be nice if one day I was legendary rank 1, but I'm not really gonna hold out for that hope.
This is our town, scrub.
Here we go.
You like Wild more than Standard, asks Toby. I like Wild more than Standard. I think I do because I have those old cards, and I think the combination of the old cards allows you to have more of that Yu-Gi-Oh style of crazy combinations that you can't have in Standard. Standard is to me, it feels like more of just, if you make an aggro deck, if you have the buffs, if you have these cards that are available to you, you'll be fine, but you won't do anything crazy or cool with it. And I would rather the crazy and cool combinations and synergies that Blizzard didn't particularly expect to have happened. That being said, I am on rank 15 on Standard. I am playing a Murloc deck for the Shaman and Megafin, and that's got me up to rank 15 on Standard. So maybe eventually I will find more success in Wild, but I bet not. The idea of Wild is that the old pros are playing in Wild, so it should be more difficult. You do crazy stuff with Evolved Shaman, fun deck. I don't think I have an Evolved Shaman deck right now, but I certainly considered it at one time, and if I can find a large combination of cards that makes sense, that would be
Here we go.
something to certainly do. Evolve Shaman, just on the face of it, the Evolve card gives you random cards. So, I think the problem with Evolve and Devolve is if you devolve everything, you're eventually going to devolve your opponents. Say he had 7 minions here. If you could play Devolve 10 times, somehow, you just figured out a way to do that, and you devolved everything down, you would have a 0 mana 1/1 Wisp, or a 0 mana, I think there's a 2/1 Surfing Penguin from Knights of the Frozen deck that they would be. And if you play Devolve at that point where there's 0, I don't think it actually kills the creature for a -1 mana creature. And there aren't any like secret -1 mana creatures that you can't play or have in the game, which that would have certainly be interesting if that was the case. Now, on the other hand, if you evolve, you eventually run into a problem of, I think there's no 12 mana cost. Maybe there isn't even an 11 mana cost card. So, if you evolve up, you may only be able to evolve something to an 11 mana, a 10 mana creature legendary, almost certainly at 10 mana, and you'll have more variety there of things that can cost 10 mana, but we can look at that after this game and see. But some of the giants that are 20 mana and then their cost goes down for like each spell that's played, I don't think you could ever evolve into those. Red Phoenix says, I don't see the appeal of Hearthstone. It gives me something to do and not do on a very consistent basis. It's kind of like a cell phone game in a lot of ways, where I'll play a whole collection of bad cell phone games. I play Clash of Clans, for example. Clash of Clans is not an appealing game to play, but you get the rewards, you get the reasons to play once a day, and I'll play it for like 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day and just be done with it. Like, if Hearthstone was my main game and only game, and I just streamed Hearthstone every day, all day, I would be very, very burned out of it. And that's certainly not something I want to do. I've had amazing success, way more subscribes, way more views doing Hearthstone live streaming. But I, in no way, am willing to translate that into only doing Hearthstone and not doing my pre-recorded series. Like, I definitely want to do other games and play more games and be varied. In general, Hearthstone does kind of have that problem of not being majorly appealing. What new legendary did I get? From Knights of the Frozen Stones. I got a few. I got the Lich King in particular. And I got, what else? That was a waste of the coin.
Here we go.
Let's see. I know on this account I got Rotface, and on the European account, and then I turned it into Dust. Or maybe I kept it. I'll have to go over to the Americas account, because it was the Americas account where I opened like 100 card packs and I got like 3 or 4. I've been rather lucky in general in the past couple of expansions.
Here we go.
Getting pretty good cards, getting pretty good legendaries. Not 100% great. Nobody's going to open 50 card packs and have all the legendaries. And for the past 2 expansions, Knights of the Frozen Throne, which had the hero replacement cards, and Journey to Unguru, which had the quest cards, both of those expansions, in my opinion, should have given they should have given the quest and the hero replacement cards by default to all the players. So I imagine what it should be is you purchase your first Knights of the Frozen Throne cards and you get the hero replacement, or you just by default all players get all the hero replacement cards, because the people that have hero replacement cards now are going to have, in several instances, a way better and easier experience defeating the Lich King in the solo adventure than people that don't have the Frozen things. For instance, the Shaman hero replacement card has it where if each time you use your hero power, you summon one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and because of that, you automatically win when all 4 of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are there. So people with that hero replacement card are going to have a lot more fun and be able to do something that you cannot do anywhere else in the game. Red Phoenix says be right back in 10 minutes. That's okay. And then Toby says nice, smiley face. Yeah. I know I got a couple of them, but there's also certainly an element there of
Calm down, I'm a doctor.
how would you phrase this?
Here we go.
The legendaries I got, none of them are like game-breaking legendaries either. None of them summon Thaddeus, like Fukin and Stalag, or they're not Kel'Thuzad or Kel'Thuzad, that is really an overpowered legendary. The Lich King gives you some random cards that are pretty good, but I haven't been able to play with them enough to see if they're that good. Let's see. 3.
Here we go.
This way. This way. This. Do I want to play this? Alright. Yeah. Now at this point I've forgotten what I was supposed to be doing. I know I'm playing rogue cards, but I don't know if I actually need victories. So I'm not sure exactly what the daily quests were. I need to go back and remind myself. At this rate, I think I'll probably not have any silent post gameplay today at all, instead favoring just playing, just talking the whole time, because that seems like that's working well enough.
Here we go.
Time to die.
Just playing all the cards. Might as well do that too. That'll allow me to finish up playing Dead Space and move on to the next Halloween game that I'm pre-recording, which would be nice. Assuming that's what I actually do with my free time, which is sometimes a big assumption. Just staying on task, staying focused. I've been doing my YouTube channel probably 3 years now, and once you hit that 3-year mark, for me at least, it seems like that's where the honeymoon is over with any job. Of course, I have certainly played certainly been in some jobs where the honeymoon never started.
Eat it.
Can I do all of these? Nope. So the difference though is, since this is my YouTube channel, I'm the one that has to motivate myself, and I'm the one that has to keep myself on task and not distract myself. Distractions every now and then are fine, but I don't want them to happen too often. There you go. Here's a nice way to go out.
Here we go.
I want to do as much damage to the face while I'm here too, because that will give me more experience. He's thinking hard about this. Apparently he wants to do something. Either he wants to let me win, or he's trying to play more cards.
Feel the power of the wind.
Can't lose stars at this rank, but that got me a decent number of experience. And there's the rogue cards played, so destroy 40 minions is still on our task. And what's the other thing? Warlock cards now. So let's come over here and see if I have a warlock That's a warrior deck, not a warlock deck. Maybe if I could read things correctly. Hunter, warrior, paladin. Let's just come up and get rid of this hunter for now. Warlock deck. Give me a warlock deck in whatever the cheapest warlock cards are that I can play. There we go. And see, I can look at the legendaries in Frozen Throne that I have. Let's see if I just type in legendary for this account, but I only opened like 3 packages that we got for free, so I'd be surprised if there's more than even 2 that I have. Like, I got this guy, which I don't have on the American account, and that's it. And if we look at all cards legendary wise, I only have 5, 6, 7, and that's it. One of which is probably very helpful for new players, is we did One Night in Karazhan on this account all the way through. I earned enough gold to do it all the way through, and that gave me Prince Malcazar, which will give you 5 random legendaries. New players that can't do One Night in Karazhan are going to really suffer for that, and that's going to be rather unfair, and they probably need something like Prince Malcazar to always be available for people. We can continue to play ranked. There's really no reason not to. And see, once I get the daily quest on the European accounts here done, we're pretty set. And that'll just be it for the stream.
Gul'dan versus Garrosh.
Victory or death! Your soul shall be mine!
I don't know why I traded cheap cards for more expensive cards there. That probably wasn't a smart move. It's hard to pay attention. Remember what you're doing half the time when you're talking and trying to be entertaining at the same time. And according to my clock, we're at least 40 minutes over on this recording, but fine, whatever. I chop up these recordings into videos, and ever since I started live streaming, I've been very, very bad about keeping them at a consistent time. Sometimes I go a whole hour over, sometimes 2 or 3 hours even over for an episode. Let's see. Red Phoenix came back on and says, sometimes I hate my internet. Most times I hate my internet. And then Tragic Master came on and said smiley face, and Red Phoenix says hi Tragic, and then Nightbot says excuse me, sorry, I'm gonna cough some more. Let's see if my mute works.
So many possibilities.
So, yeah, my mute button has stopped working sometimes. I don't know why. It's part of the Blue Yeti microphone. So, yeah, Red Phoenix says hi, Tragic, and then Nightbot thought he said hi to him and said hello, Red Phoenix. And then Tragic Master said yo, and then Red Phoenix said fuck you, Nightbot. And then Red Phoenix said sup, and then Tragic Master said Nightbot, asterisk Nightbot cough. Is that what I said? I started coughing as I was talking about Nightbot? I think so, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why the Blue Yeti mute button stopped working. And it's been weird lately. I think my microphone might be breaking, which would suck. Like, it's supposed to be a high quality microphone, and I don't want it to break. But once I had to reset my computer because it was switching the left and right on the headphones. It may have been doing that a lot, honestly, without me being able to tell, because unless the games have very specific audio like that, it's pretty easy to not know if the left and right are switched. But there's really no reason why the left or right should be switched, or how that would even happen. Like, that shouldn't be a feature. Of course, I could easily fix it if I recognize it as a problem. I can just take my headphones off and put them on the other ears. But they have an L and an R specifically telling me which side goes where.
What now?
This guy is not playing very fast.
I must choose.
Like, I definitely need to fix the hi command. So when people say hi and hello, it only means, it only triggers if that's the only thing they say. But if they say somebody else's username or something else, it just ignores that.
Why do you call?
Again, it's down to priorities. Should I focus on fixing that, or should I record more pre-recorded footage? I probably should record more pre-recorded footage. The chat certainly also can adapt saying yo or sup. Anything besides the HI or hello, HELLO, won't trigger Nightbot right now. Somebody new on the chat has just the word CAVALLO. I don't know what that means. Like, are you speaking English? Because the rule says English only. And basically the rule is, if you've broken it once already, if you put something else I don't understand on the chat, I'm just gonna block you. Because that's how I roll. He says that means horse in Italian. Oh. Interesting. Interesting language lesson.
What now?
Yeah, I was just coughing, so I bet my voice does sound a little hoarse. Although I don't know if people use that phrase in Italian. Let's see. If you discard this minion, summon it. Well, we'll just summon it. Now, I needed to destroy minions, and if this guy isn't going to play, then if he's not going to play minions, then I can't destroy them, so that's going to be irritating. Like, I'm set up very well to destroy something if you just summon something. Of course, also in the chat, somebody could lie to me and tell me a word and then say it means something completely different. Unless I... Let's see. Search in Google. Let's see, Wikipedia.
I must choose.
Horsepower, knight, and crutch and fork apparently are different things it means in Italian. Yeah, that's what I came up with when I searched too, is cavallo hoof boots. This guy is not letting me do anything. Play a minion. Spola, you don't trust me. Haha. Well, no, I don't trust random strangers on the internet. What can I say? I trust but verify. What rank are you in standard? On my America's account, I'm 14 with 2 stars, and I'm hoping that's enough to leave me at rank 15 when the month ends. And that's where I'm just going to leave it. And then next month, I'm hoping to get up to 10 or more. I started at rank 24 this month, so I'm happy with my progress. And this is the first month where I've tried to actually get up in rank. Now, right now I'm playing on the European account where it ranked 20 wild. 20 is all I'm really even going to ever bother to get the European or Asian accounts up to. Just enough to get the card back and a 20 chest. Just because I don't have any cards on the European or Asian accounts and probably won't ever. Seems like this guy is just paid to win here, is just trying to irritate me into giving up. And I'm far too stubborn to do that. Come on, play. Finally a minion I can kill. So it's 8:14 in US Central Time right now, which probably means 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Is it like 2 in the morning in Italy right now? If that's where you are from. I guess I'm assuming a lot. There. Yeah, like 2 in the morning. Yeah. The music's not moving forward, is it? No, it's not. It's been playing the exact same song over and over again. I think I need the... I think I need it playing. Is the problem. So every time I set this up, it's either going back and forth Or let's see. Playlist. And Q. There's commands. There's documents. Let's see. It seems like there's only 2 songs. Let's delete the song and delete the song and
So many possibilities.
home and let's come over here and play while we're doing this.
You're in trouble now. As the
Let's see. Auto DJ, there it is. So apparently I need that page open, whether it's muted or not. Maybe there's some settings I can mess with this too.
What you looking at?
Let's skip this song because that's the same one. And
I wonder.
man, this is gonna be a lot of time to fidget. That should fix something.
Why do you call?
Yeah, I don't think I've got it quite set up the right way.
master wishes.
Why am I sticking with this guy, come to think of it? Like, let's just win. Let's just win and move on to the next person. Yeah, that'll work better. Yeah, Nightbot's still in beta, but it does seem like the auto DJ is not fully working either, because that didn't really work the way I was hoping it would. And again, that's just something I'm fiddling with while I need to be playing the game. So let's just focus there.
Gul'dan versus Uther.
I will fight with honor.
Your soul shall be mine.
Let's see. go type in this song current and see what the current song is now, just to make sure it's not the exact same song. I'll just disable those two, and if that's the case.
You are not the boss of me.
Nightbot's not even responding to me now.
Hey, goons! Over here!
You don't play Warlock very often, I see. What deck do you play in Standard, like mid-range Paladin? What I'm playing in Ranked is a Shaman Murloc deck that's winning. But I don't play net decks either, so like I'm not really focusing on playing decks that I can just find online like everybody else, because that's gonna get really boring and just I don't think it makes entertaining content to do the exact same thing everybody else is doing. Right now my Warlock deck is on my European account, so I picked the cheapest Warlock cards I had to play 50 Warlock cards to get the daily quest done. So this is how I used to play on my America's deck account, was just get the daily quest done as quickly as possible, and get that gold, and maybe if I get enough gold I can buy the expansions and get more cards. We've got another person that doesn't want to play. Spoiler said, "You're right." Spoiler said the previous statement too. It's like, yeah. Like, if I was just playing for myself, sure, I would get the mid-range Paladin deck, which somebody did suggest that to me, and I did import it into my Hearthstone deck tracker app and look at it, and I'm missing some of the crucial cards even on my America's account, which has quite a few cards. There are just a few that I don't have, where I'd have to make some tweaks, and so even if I was playing mid-range Paladin, I wouldn't be playing as well as other people playing mid-range Paladin. Plus, I'm easily distracted, so it's kind of rather easy for me to just not play as well as other people. Wow, that was lucky. And misplay a lot. Is auto DJing just not enabled? Is it not playing?
I wonder.
Red Phoenix said my internet crashed. I was getting the feeling that's what was happening. Let's see, is that clock? There it goes, it changed. Now everyone plays Jade Druid Ultimate Infestation, blah blah, no original content, just like you said. Yeah, it certainly seems to be the case. Like, if you're just a regular player, it makes sense to follow it like that. Although, even as an individual player, you're just kind of making Hearthstone worse. And this is probably where Blizzard has completely failed in balancing its game is the fact that everybody is doing the exact same thing. It shouldn't be that easy to know what's good. You did song, not songs. Ah. As the command thing, says Red Phoenix. Ah. Okay, that explains that. I'll have to fix that and alias song into songs. Because obviously I'm gonna make that mistake again. Yeah, that's right. So apparently I need the auto DJ page open for the songs to change. Otherwise it just does the same thing over and over again. So that means I'm gonna have to make sure this, don't suspend this tab, never suspend this site. There we go. I have this thing called the Great Suspender that suspends tabs and supposedly saves you on disk writes and memory usage for Chrome. I don't know if it really does, but I use it and I try it, so.
You're a
They found through some research that Chrome is particularly bad for SSDs because it's just every 2 minutes saving all the files and making backups of the web pages over and over and over again. And that many writes is gonna wear out your SSD after a couple of years. So I'm thinking I probably need to get rid of the one that just points to the song list, because that song list doesn't, I think, work. And I missed this thing from Spolia. Good stream, bro. I gotta go, and remember to shout Cavallo to random people in America so that you bring Italian ignorance. Well, am I bringing in Italian ignorance or out Italian ignorance? Oh. So
many possibilities.
Store 5 health. Draw 2 demons.
You are not the boss of me.
Why do you call? I'm almost out of time.
Red Phoenix says, so Spolia probably left a few minutes ago and I missed him. Red Phoenix says, my internet is terrible and I have a RAID 10 SSD set up. Okay, so. Well, RAID on the SSDs,
Put your faith in the
potentially more writes, maybe not.
reporting for duty.
RAIDs on SSDs are mostly about speed, and a RAID 10 is mostly about speed because you're doing a RAID 1, which is backing up, taking about half of your potential space away, and then a RAID 0, which doesn't take any space away, but is is better. The minimum number of hard drives you need to do a proper RAID 10 is 4, and what that means is at any point 1, maybe 2, if you're really, really lucky, hard drives could fail at the same time. And SSDs in particular, if hard drives fail, they're all probably going to fail at the exact same time, which is slightly more risky. I have, I think, a similar setup on my server's RAID array. Somewhat similar. But I have a lot more hard drives, but they're very small hard drives. I had like 6 500 gigabyte hard drives from several years ago that I put in a RAID 0, and then 4 like 4 terabyte hard drives that are in a RAID 1 type thing. And then they work together to be that RAID 10. I also have some old work I need to do on that because I filled it up with backups from Windows. See, we need to destroy 10 more minions and 15 more warlock cards. See, Red Phoenix says, I got them in a pack. I don't think the person who had them knew what they had. The SSDs are, each SSD is 250 gigabytes. Well, that is rather lucky if you got a good deal. Of course, you may not have gotten a good deal. There's a hard drives on sale right now that I saw listed actually about a week ago, where they were hard drives that had been used in a server farm probably, and they were going relatively cheap for a lot of space. But if they've been used in a server, if somewhere, they've been running non-stop for like 3 years, and they're probably very close to just exploding. They don't actually explode, but they effectively do. They just die. But yeah, a lucky find to find 4 256 SSDs. I would certainly love that. In my my operating system is installed on a 256 SSD, and because I'm recording video and like an hour of video is often 5 gigabytes, it's always filling up. I'm always having to keep an eye on it and try to make sure I don't run out of space. I'm always trying to have to upload to YouTube so I can delete the videos, and that's terrible. That terrible system, because I'm not keeping my videos backed up, and that means if YouTube decides to delete my channel and lock me out of my channel, 3 years of footage is just gone, which that would certainly suck. If I had 4 SSDs and I did a RAID 0 or a RAID 10, which would probably be better to do a RAID 10, and played games, I'm honestly not so certain it would really change too much. It similarly to the new M2 setup that we have now for new motherboards, the speed of the flash RAM is limiting at about 500 megabits per second, and until we get faster flash RAM inside the SSDs or the M2 drives, we can't get up to the higher theoretical amount. that you could have. Let's see. And it starts to be a little ridiculous too. Like, I don't think most games loading screens are really that tied to hard drive speeds now. They certainly used to be, but even modern games, if they're programmed right, the loading shouldn't be that great. Or there should be no loading at all. And a lot of the old games, they load no matter what. It's just hard-coded times. And so regardless of how fast your machine is. Now my network also is I upgraded to a gigabit network, but honestly it doesn't really quite hit like 1,000 megabits per second upload and download even in the internal network. So that's not really the bottleneck, and it's the internet service provider that limits you to 5 megabits per second to upload to YouTube that really messes with me.
You are not the boss of me.
Let's see.
Astonishing.
I'm not really right now in the mood to start thinking about building a new computer. I'd like my computer, which I built about a year ago, to last another 4. I'd like it to last another 4 years. I'm sadly because they lied about the GTX 970. I probably am gonna have to buy a new video card. But that's all I'm really gonna do is get a new video card. 32 gigabytes of RAM right now is perfectly fine. My SSD might burn out, and maybe I'll slowly upgrade to a 512. But that's kind of it. Red Phoenix says, I offered $500 for them, and the person said he was going to say $100. I thought they were cheap used, so I bought them at $250, and they were the nicest person ever. One was dead, but I easily bought a new one. Hunter Ziegler came on. Did you just start playing? No, I'm actually kind of at the end. Like 2 or 3 more games to get the daily quest done, and then I'm gonna just call it a night. So sorry about that. You can always rewind. However, that function should work and go back to the beginning. If you're asking me if I just started playing it at 8:39 Central Time, what time zone are you in? That would make sense. Tragic Master says frowny face. What are you frowny facing about? Yep. See, the thing, Red Phoenix, about the hard drives is they worked for you alright, but they could have been used for like Bitcoin mining. Oh, Hunter Ziegler says, no, I mean, did you just get into Hearthstone? No, I've been playing for 2.5 years, but this is my European account, so that's why I'm at rank 20. Like, I just started a month ago the European account, and it's a free-to-play account, so so that explains why I don't have cards. That explains why I'm at rank 20. Is I'm on the European account that just is never gonna get anywhere. But it's here for my fans if people want to friend me and play me, and that's really the only reason why you would play anything other than your primary account. Red Phoenix says, can we not have the stream go to midnight? we could, but it would be a waste of everybody's time, frankly. Like, the people talking to me certainly pushes me to go further and longer and have more of it where I'm talking instead of post-game show where I'm just going to be quiet and play. And tonight, I don't think we're doing any post-game show, but... Oh, yeah, right now my daily quest is to play as many Warlock Corials as possible, but I would also like to do damage and get experience and just kind of do everything. So I'm just playing cards randomly without really paying attention. There's 3 more cards in this deck, so I'm gonna lose. Let's see.
I can't play that.
Restore 5 health.
I'm almost out of cards.
This isn't a demon, and this isn't a demon. Do I have any demons? Nope. See. Red Phoenix says, like the other time, and Hunter Ziegler said, I see. Like the other time means, I don't know when. Like, I certainly have streamed on a few times. Just way late. Really late. The test stream was interesting. Ah, yes, the test stream. Yeah, that was a midnight thing, and that's just like an insomnia thing too. It was like I was up, and for some reason I wasn't recording what I should have been recording, which would have been probably Dead Space or Submerged if I was still recording that. But that's certainly not going to be a normal thing. And I need 3 more minions killed. So, yeah, I think we'll probably just kill 3 more minions and concede. Unless this is a quick game. There's nothing more I need to save up for except for the potential of a solo expansion if they ever make another solo expansion that costs money. Yeah. Red Phoenix says you messed up my sleep schedule. I was afraid of that, certainly. It's like people should not stay up just because I'm streaming. The videos are gonna stay up for the most part. Like there might be 1 or 2 instances where I've taken something down or edited it in some way. But the live streams are there, and you can watch them later. People shouldn't stay awake just because I'm an insomniac. Insomnia is contagious, not really, but it's really easy for people to get focused in it, and that's just not good.
You are not the boss of this.
Well, the Nightbot Auto DJ is seeming like it works now. In fact, it seems like it works probably even without the timered ones. So if I was to come over here and just disable and disable, and then we come back to the Auto DJ, we're gonna see if that works. I woke up at noon for almost a week in a row. I must apologize for that. And that is not good. Normally I wake up at 7 in the morning. Yeah, that is my life every day. Like, random times going to sleep, random times waking up. It's completely out of control, and I cannot figure a way to control it. And if you have nights like that, on average 2 or more times a week, you're clinically supposed to be an insomniac. And a lot of people say they have insomnia, and then the doctors will tell them the clinical definition, and they go, no, that's not true. It's pretty normal for somebody to struggle getting to sleep once every month or so. But if it's very consistently happening, at least twice a week, then you probably are an actual insomniac. I think I have non-24. Well, only if you're blind. Because non-24 only applies to people who are blind, as I understand it.
You're in trouble now.
Deal 4 damage to a minion. Deal 4 damage, discard a card. I think particularly in school, not sleeping well is very bad for people and students. I think it probably affected my experience in school a lot because of that. Let's see. Deal 1 damage. If it kills it, draw a card. Let's just try this. Could play Corrupting Mist.
As the master wishes. You're in trouble now.
Why do you fall?
Let's see. Oh, I could have killed it differently. I think I've done enough here. I'm not even supposed to be playing Warlock cards, I'm supposed to be destroying minions.
The game begins.
I set 5 alarms and slept through all of them. That is very typical. I don't know if Red Phoenix is really telling me the truth, though. It sounds like you might just be joking.
As the master wishes. As the master wishes.
Let's see. Do we have a way of... That is my case, certainly, though, is I set alarm clocks and I wake up well enough to turn off the alarm clock and then I go back to sleep. So it makes them... I think a train could go through my house and I still wouldn't wake up. And that's often the case, yeah. That's exactly what it's like.
Why do you fall?
Magic detected.
Corrupting Mist. Destroy a demon, restore 5. Deal 2 damage. And draw a card.
I'm almost out of cards.
Behold the glory of a new sun.
You see, whatever he's trying to play is... I'm out of cards. And so the auto DJ just changed songs. And let's see if Nightbot says anything now that the songs are disabled. Even 9 o'clock right now is more than I probably would want to, but I did start late, so it's my own fault that I'm going till 9 o'clock. If I had started this around 2, it probably would only be about 6 o'clock. And there's... certainly if I could get up and do it at like noon, that would probably work well too. If I have to wake up, the person I live with has to wake me up 3 times or I don't wake up. Wow. Yep. I don't have no more cards to play, so speed up our demise. Should have all the daily quests done. Alright, and that does prove, I think, that the song timer does need to be on, but just the current song. And if that's the case, I'm gonna bring it down to every 5 minutes and save. And we'll mess with Autobot some more. I'll put some more tweaks in it. Still looking for a lot more Easter egg suggestions, so if people want to think about those for the next stream, that will certainly help too. And see, we're good. I think somebody wanted to see, and maybe they're online, maybe they'll watch this later, they wanted to see what I got for Knights of the Frozen Throne on the Americas account, so we'll show that, and then we'll just wrap up. We've been going probably long, so this is probably like a 3-hour video that I never really could get a handle on how long this was going to be, because right now, as we're growing a lot of people in the chat, it's working to keep me talking, but you can see I'm at rank 14, gonna get a rank 13 box. Total wins. Total wins 3 of 400. What does that mean? Or 3 of 100? I don't understand what that means. I need to date someone to wake me when I get my own place. Yeah. Well, hopefully more than there are other reasons that you would date someone than just you need an alarm clock. So let's see what the legendaries, but they certainly can be useful for that too. So I bought a lot of card packs. I got Malfurion as a legendary. I didn't get Rexar. I would like him. I got Frostleech Jaina. That's 2 legendaries. I got Bolvar Fireblood, but I didn't get Uther the Ebon Blade, which would have been nice. I didn't get Shadow Reaper. The Blue Phoenix Alarm Clock. That's Red Phoenix said that. I didn't get Valeria, which I'd like to have them all. I didn't get Thrall Deathseer. Okay. I don't really need Thrall Deathseer more than any of the others because my Murloc Shaman deck works fine without it. So that one is probably one of the lowest priorities. The Blood Reaver Gul'dan, Summon All Friendly Demons would be a very good one to have. And this one certainly would be a great card to have too. So I had 2,000 dust. I could have made any of these, but in the end, getting a classic legendary, I think, will last longer than getting a Knights of the Frozen Throne. Red Phoenix says, "Go back to my first stream I went to." Yeah. That we were talking about his name. And then all these princes kind of don't, like, if you have if your deck has no 2-cost cards, give all minions in your deck +1/+1. Kind of makes sense only in very specific situations. If your deck has no 3-cost cards, transform into a 3/3 copy of some other minion on the field. This one's not phrased very well, so I didn't understand. I thought it was just going to transform into a 3/3 copy of itself. So, for instance, if you had the Lich King and you played this and you had no 3-cost cards, you'd be a 3/3 Lich King, which might be useful. Arvis, we add a random Death Knight to your card. I do have a Death Rattle deck I could make. Certainly that would be useful. There's cards that double your Death Rattles. And then Prince Valinar, if your deck has no 4-cost cards, gain Lifesteal and Taunt. A lot of these abilities, I am pretty sure, have to do with what happened in World of Warcraft when you fought the what happened in World of Warcraft when you fought the Lich King. And so people that played World of Warcraft during that expansion are enjoying this certainly a lot more than I think people who have no clue what the cards are, like me. See, I wanted to also see if you have a bunch of 9s, you can evolve them into 10s, certainly. And you can evolve a 10 not into an 11 because there's no 11 mana. So, in theory, you could have 7 of this card. But you could never evolve into an Arcane Giant. You can never evolve into any of these. Or this. So, that would kind of suck. Let's see. Red Phoenix says Blue Phoenix is the girlfriend and Purple Phoenix would be the babies. And let's see. Auto DJ is playing the song. And I think that's gonna work for the next time. So yeah. As far as devolving, you're gonna end up with either 1/1 Murlocs, 1/1 Penguins, 0/2s with taunts, or 1/1 Wisps. And that's all you can have. There's no negative mana card, so you couldn't devolve these into something. Tragic Master says 11 mana giant. I'm looking at all the cards. I don't see anything that's 11 mana. Still doesn't get it. Thrall 11. Is there? Let's see. Can we type in cost 11? Cost 10. Is it mana 11 maybe? Mana 11. Ooh, there is a Snow Fury Giant. Interesting. So you can get everything up to 11. And we've seen 12. Is there a mana 13? No, so you stop at 12. But that is better than anything else. So you can get up to these, but you can't get up to the 25, which that's not too bad. Tragic Thrust. Yep. I didn't know about that one. Costs 1 less for each mana crystal you've overloaded. And see, this was just added Knights of the Frozen Throne, so that explains, and that can be my excuse for not knowing about that, certainly. Okay. I think we're good. Nice stream. I'll be back in 3 days. And the Red Phoenix says, I feel like this is an inside joke, only I get frowny face. Well, I think I get it with the Purple Phoenix Babies joke. I think I'm getting it, but maybe I'm not. Sorry if I'm not getting it. Anyways, that's going to be it for this stream. Nice and fun. We talked all the way through it. We had good chat. I learned a few things about Nightbot. I learned Red Phoenix doesn't like Nightbot saying hi to him when he didn't say hi back. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a good evening. Bye.